are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it's been a long fucking day of travel, but I'm here in Oaxaca. That's how you fucking pronounce the name. Oaxaca. Oaxaca, Mexico, and this is a fucking cool town. This is sort of what I was expecting Mexico City to be like. Mexico City is like a massive fucking city, but it's just a city, like your run of the mill fucking city. But I think it could be the biggest fucking city I've ever seen. Coming in on the plane today from El Salvador, you fly into Mexico City, and as far as the eye can see, there's just buildings. Like densely populated fucking streets of just fucking buildings. You can't see the end of it. Someone was telling me to drive from one side of Mexico City to the other takes about 3.5, 4 hours. That's how big Mexico fucking City is. I guess there's some shitty parts to it as well. There would be some rough parts. There would be some ghetto as fuck parts. Anyway, Mexico City's Mexico City. Oaxaca is fucking cool. I mean, it's pretty fucking touristy in the fucking middle here, right where I'm staying. But fucking, you take a little bit of a walk, like a 15, 20-minute walk away from like the fucking full tourist area, and you get some like local sort of joints. A few cantinas, a few fucking taco places, a few fucking dive-looking bars. And just the general vibe of the place is a lot fucking cooler. And it's safe as fuck here. I thought it was going to be a little bit dodgy here, but it's not. It's fucking cool. So we're here tonight, but we got in at 5:30 p.m. today. And tomorrow night, and then we leave at about 4 p.m. the next day. And then I spend one more night in Mexico City with my wife, and then we fucking splinter off. She goes back to New York and I go to Peru. And then I've got one night in Lima and I fly down to Cuzco. And I think I have 3 or 4 nights in Cuzco before the ayahuasca ceremony. So it's like 7 days until I'm fucking speaking to the spirit guides and I guess fucking explaining myself to them. Hey, I'm sorry. That's all you need to know. I'm sorry. I've come here to repent, okay? We're also staying in an Airbnb here and getting the full fucking Oaxaca experience. I think we're like staying in an apartment building. It's not really an apartment building. It's just lots of little rooms, but I think it's where the locals live. It seems like a very local house. It's just a room with a toilet that I fucking absolutely destroyed about 10 minutes ago. And a little kitchen. It's just basic as fuck, but it's a nice little basic thing. It's better than being in a hotel, but it was still $50 fucking a night. I tell you what, fucking traveling around getting hotel rooms isn't fucking that cheap anymore. I mean, $50 a night isn't that bad, but that's still $350 a week if you're doing 7 days, and $50 is real cheap. The fucking most expensive we've paid is $150 for a night, and the least expensive is the $50. So it's more around like the $70 to $80. And you're not getting a lot for it, but also I can't fucking hostel anymore. I can't dorm room. I wouldn't even ask my wife to do that. That is fucking insane. I might dorm room in Cuzco. No, there's no way I'm fucking dorming in Cuzco. Fucking forget about it. I'm getting a fucking solo room and I'm going to start meditating. I just got contacted by the ayahuasca retreat people, actually. You need to fill in a fucking questionnaire. They want to know what my purpose is. I have been thinking about it, but I'm not even too sure what my purpose is. Maybe it's to like ask for forgiveness from the gods. But then I was like, forgiveness is a tricky thing because you don't really need to ask forgiveness from the gods. You sort of need to forgive yourself and probably the people that you hurt. Oh, fuck. So I'm not too sure about the forgiveness thing. I don't know. I would like to fucking know what I need to be focusing on. That's kind of why I'm fucking going. I think I've got some serious blind spots. I know I've got some serious fucking blind spots. But I was thinking I'm doing 2 sessions. So I guess the first session can fucking point the direction. This is what you'll be fucking working on this year. And then the next fucking session, I can start the work. And then the integration fucking happens, which is part of the whole fucking thing. That's probably the most important thing, is the integration. Anyway, fucking Oaxaca is waiting for me. I've got my wife down at a fucking pub again by herself, just drinking and smoking darts. 1 hour a day she's got to leave the fucking room, okay? Is that too much to ask? I have a whole process. I do a shit. I scroll on my phone. I have a coffee now because there's no goddamn fucking tea. I do a little bit more scrolling, and then I fucking start doing the podcast. And that's how it works. And then I slowly put my clothes back on and I go meet her. Is there anything else that I should be doing, or is there any... I don't know what I'm fucking saying there. But anyway, I got to go fucking back out there, hit the town again. It's fucking a vibrant city, Oaxaca. I like it a lot. I'm into it. Anyway, that'll fucking do for today, and I'll see you the fuck later.